They taught me the world only makes sense if you force it to.
Needed to help bring the men who murdered his family to justice.
So he could turn out like you?
So that he wouldn't.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan set that I have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We are looking now at Absolute Batman number 5. Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. We've got the main cover here with Black Mask and Alfred, and then this gigantic Batman that looks like the freaking Juggernaut. I love Absolute Batman, so if you don't like it, you're just a hater, because this series is really good. But I have to tell you that I think the main reason people don't like it is because Batman does look like a freaking Hulk. But and then of course his gigantic logo here, which of course works as an axe. Of course, I show you all the variant covers because why not? Some covers are cool, some are not, some are weird, but I show them all to you regardless. Computer coloring and digital art has really changed the world. It's really taken over. So, all right, we start out with young Bruce probably getting some vaccines. Dr. Hopkins says, and you're all done. And Martha says, thanks, Leslie. And that's the last one. Yep, he's good to go. But I think it was rabies shots or something. You start growing fangs and pointy ears, mister. You call me right away. Got it? And he's like, okay, Dr. Tompkins. And he's so sad. Of course, his father was killed here. Otherwise, that should be the end of you and bats. And so the zoo, I had said originally this was the 200 because that looks like a 2, and I had said the 200, but it is the zoo, and this is part 5, and we are at Bruce's father's funeral. And so we're now here, and Alfred is narrating. He says, he revs the engine as he rounds 27th. Revs it louder at 39th. And so you can see that, taunting them to try them. And so you see here, reward +5, 142, 943. But they just watch and let him pass. And so here he goes. Look at him. He's daring them to blow up the deal. Some part of him wants them to, I'm sure. And so the bike has a tracker. Watching that dot, I half expect him to do it himself. Drive past the meeting spot, but he doesn't. Instead, he stops right where he's supposed to and goes into the building. Well done, says Alfred. My handler calls just then. They have what they need. He says I should leave now. I tell him I'm leaving, but stay right where I am. And so Martha says, Jim, you ready? And Gordon, who's the mayor and was running for a re-election, look, Mar, I just wanted to say I'm sorry that. And she says, no, we haven't lost yet. And Jim says, you saw the news. Hill has Harvey, meaning Harvey, not Harvey Dent, Two-Face, but Harvey Bullock. And so, and then Hill, of course, the new mayor. And Gordon says, I just didn't see that one coming. Stings. And Martha says, you remember how we met? And Jim says, you mean when I arrested you? You were carrying a sign then too. And she says, which you broke. And he says, that was an accident. It wouldn't fit in the trunk. And she says, and the whole way to the station I laid into you. But when we got to Central, instead of booking me, you let me go, even gave me money for a new sign. And she continues here. My point is, yes, most times in Gotham, people surprise you in awful ways. But sometimes, once in a blue moon, they surprise you in good ones too. Now get your old ass up. And Jim says, you know, when I said sorry, I wasn't talking about the election. I was talking about the zoo, the memorial light. I'm sorry they're not lighting it this year because of all this crap. When you see Bruce, tell him I said so, please, because... And, of course, we're going to continue on the other side because there's been a lot of that where sometimes it'll end in the next page, or it will start at the end of the page and continue on. But that's what really stings, he says. So at the funeral here, Martha says, go on, honey. And Bruce says, you want to talk to me, Mr. Gordon? And Jim says, I did, Bruce. And he kneels next to him and says, look, I'm not much good at this, but I just wanted to say that I've seen a lot of brave acts in my life, but I haven't known many brave people. Your dad, he was one. He sort of shone with it. I see that when I look at you too. And he says, I'll let you go now, but I also wanted you to know they're going to tear down the zoo, okay? And Bruce asks, what are they going to put in there? And Jim says, I don't know, something practical, I'm sure, but you won't have to look at it ever again. It will be gone for good, okay? And so we continue now with Alfred. Here we go. A few moments and this fever dream will be over, and Batman will be something lasting, applicable. For a moment, his back tenses, almost imperceptible, but I catch it. And Alfred says, easy there, easy. Look around. You feel that. They're all jealous of you because you did it. You won. As Alfred continues to watch here. Hello there. Let's make you rich. And Alfred continues, I'll tell you a secret. I'm bloody jealous of you too because I learned too late. But you, cheers, Mr. Wayne. So it's all set, buddy. 200 million... Anon to Anon. The code to the account was sent this morning. And Batman says, I know. I already used it on something. And Black Mask says, ha, amazing. Look at you. And so, again, back to the past. Wait, Bruce, what are you? And then he says, Mr. Gordon, stop. And so here's the money here. On what? Cars, planes, back computers? How much did you use? I have to know. And Batman says, all of it. And look, this is like in the a bat. And back in the past, Bruce, what is it, says Gordon. And Bruce says, I don't want them to knock down the zoo or turn it into something practical. I want something there that makes everyone look, like you said, something that shines. And so there's the money here. I want them to see how I spent it. And he hits click, which you know he's going to burn this money down. But we get that bat signal here, sort of. And look at that. That is just so frigging cool. Oh, my goodness gracious. I love this title. It's really, really good. As I mentioned before, if you don't like it, you're just a hater. Just enjoy the story. It's different. Just enjoy it. And so, Black Mask says, that's one ugly bat. And so, the news reporter says, reports of the Gotham Zoo Memorial Light witness claim a massive bat made of money. And Black Mask says, party animals, the deal is off, as he yells it. And so Batman says, see, Roman, I don't need cars or planes or computers. I don't need anything you have. All I need, as the people come running to him, is Batman, which is so friggin' cool. Look at that. I love it. And so he wallops one guy, And then, of course, his cape is like, I don't know, it can convert it like into daggers or something and hits this guy here, plucks it out. Look at the blood coming out here. Punches this guy, kicks, punches, kicks, punch. And the guy that lost his hand here jumps up yelling and he says it's payback time. And then this brutal Batman, which is what he is, he still doesn't kill. Keep in mind, he does not kill. He maims but does not kill. And you can see shock as he just impales this guy here. I'm stuck, he yells as he kicks this one. Get him off me. Ugh. Please, sir, put me. And then Batman says, all the crime the party animals committed, all the arson, robbery, the murders, it was manufactured by you, so you and your boss could profit. You don't care how many people die, as he grabs this one and tosses him. And Batman says, nope. Fortunately, though, you do. Fire. And so he starts shooting at his own people. What are you? Everybody get down. Now, while he's playing Angel, net him. And so he throws this and gets this angel here. Or angel here. Sorry, this net here. And another one here. And Batman's like, oh. And he realizes he's sort of screwed up. And here he is, all trapped. And Roman says, man, you had it too. All right there. That the ticket to the big party. All you had to do was reach out and grab it, as he grabs his hand. And then he grabs his arm and breaks it. Look at that. Just the yelling. And Batman all calm says, I have just what I wanted. Everything you said up here, everything you confessed to, everything it's already at every news station. And he smiles and he sees that. He says, my God, you actually think you achieved something here, as the money continues to burn. And she breaks one of his ears off. I think he does, Ro. Me too, baby. Wild. And you can see the money burning. And then she then stabs him with it. He believes that burning the cash, exposing the truth, is going to inspire them. He thinks he's the hero as they continue. I hate to tell you, pal, but you're not even the main character, right, kiddo? And here, there's the other one here. And she is about to fry the Batman. And Roman continues. The only hero of this story, Batman, is money. And he grabs this weapon and gets like the spear going here. And okay, nope, it's the axe. It's the thing for, grabs the thing to put it in the axe here. And so as the money continues to burn and hits him with his own thing, should have aimed, cut the head off, but of course we know why he can't. So, and now I'm going to prove it to you, Roman continues, as most of the money has already burned. And Batman falls and he tries to make a parachute, but of course there's too many holes, so it only holds him a little bit. He just bonks through it. Here comes the helicopters. I got eyes on the bat. Send all units to 29th and 3rd. Repeat, all freaking units. And so here they come. They start shooting at Batman, and you see the explosion here. I got him good, but he's on the move as he's getting away. Gordon responding, I'm at the scene. If you remember, that's Barbara Gordon. And so she goes in here. Batman's trying to get away, sees him, hits him, and then she's out saying, freeze. I said, stop, damn it. I will shoot you, as he's going down the manhole. And he says, then do it then. Go on. And then she puts the gun down. Any signs of him, Gordon? And she says, no, none, as Bruce left his mask behind. And so back to Black Mask. I assume it's Black Mask. I don't think that the name has been, but it's the only thing that I can think of here. So And so the reporter says, cutting live to this black man. Oh, there he is. Apparently responsible for this horrific spike in. And so he says here, hello, Gotham. My name is Roman. A little about me. I grew up in a pig farm. Humble beginnings. I know one of my jobs on the farm was to kill pigs when the time came. I used one of those captive bolt pistols, 5-inch pins right in the head. Most time it was just thunk down. But once in a while, on rare occasions, the pig would have this spasm, not of pain, but of joy. It was wild. It let out this moan and shiver and even smile with the blood spurting in its head. And, of course, Jim and Martha are watching him. And so Black Mask continues. I learned later that this only happened if the pin got deep enough to hit this tiny little spot in the brain called the hedonistic hub, the main pleasure centers. And that only occurred if the pig didn't tense up when the pin hit, but just relaxed and accepted it. If the pig did, the hub would literally flood the last bits of its brain with total unchecked pleasure, the split second of ecstasy that only came with the acceptance of death. Which brings me to now, this moment, because, come on, we all feel it. The big guys, they killed the world long ago, and so you can see that his people are preparing something here. Yet, they keep us all slaving away with the promise it's all still alive. I mean, admit it, you can barely pay your bills while the money makes money. You drag recycling to the curb while they ride in private jets that tear the sky apart. Here's the funny thing. All right, I'm gonna tell you something that some of you may know, some of you may not. In life, there are winners and there are losers. We can't all win. And so as much as this sounds pretty cool, that, yeah, we should all get a piece, that's not how it works. There have been, in life, there have been the rich, and there is the poor, and there's the middle. It has been like that before. It's always been like that before. It's like that now. It will be like that in the future. This sounds pretty when it says, yeah, rise up and all that. But the thing is, most people don't. You know it. So as neat as it sounds, that's just not everyone is gonna. Not everyone can be rich. At the same token, not everybody can be poor, and there are those that have, and those are the have-nots, and that's just the way it is. It's not fair, but life is not fair. So it isn't fair in the animal kingdom. It isn't fair in humans. It just is what it is. So anyway, Black Mask continues. You struggle to hold this system together that does nothing for you, doing the right thing so they can do the wrong one. Why? As Alfred continues driving. I'll ask again, why? And so here's his Batmobile, and Bruce is sitting there patching himself up. And so Alfred has arrived, and he says, stop glaring and set my arm. And so he dislocated the arm. He didn't break it here. And Alfred is yelling at him, do you have any idea what you've done? And Bruce says, yes, I tagged him, the tracker from the bike. I slipped it into Black Mask when I grabbed him. Help me close some of these wounds. And Alfred says, go to hell. Don't you get it? If I can. And Alfred says, oh, I get it. I was a field medic. I know 100 ways to patch you up, but I'll never help you again. Goodbye, kid. And just know what's coming next is on your head. And so Alfred leaves. Bruce looks down. And he looks defeated. I say enough. And so you can see here Gordon telling her to stay back, because all those ideals, those dreams you're toiling for, they're dead. Progress is dead. History is dead. Truth is dead. So how about we all just admit it's dead and relax so the pin can hit the sweet little spot. Let's all live in that one split second of ecstasy. Feast on the giant scraps. And he says, Jim, what's going on? Asks Martha. And Gordon says, I don't know. Just stay back. Oh, no. And so he sees all these masks. And because Batman turned down his invite, I'm offering invitations to all of you. Hundreds of millions of dollars, all up for grabs. Welcome to the party. And so it looks like we are going to have, oh my goodness gracious, what was that movie where you can like kill people for 24 hours? I forgot the name of that franchise. Anyway, it looks like we're going to have some of that here. And so to be continued. And of course, we got our credits. Scott Snyder, writer, and Nick Dragotta, who I enjoy. I enjoy what his art is, of course, the artist on this. So, Absolute Batman #5 by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. I enjoy it. I like it. So, The Purge. That's the name of the movie. So, anyway, I really like I said before, I really like it. I hope you're enjoying it. It's just a different take. Just enjoy the story. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.